For thousands of years, humanity has made wonders in technology to further mankind. But it hasn't all been good. Those in power have used technology to obtain more of it, while stomping out any threats to their control. In recent years, these sciences have been used against gun owners with databases, surveillance, social media, and now AI. Artificial intelligence in its current form hasn't been around very long, yet it has already been molded into a powerful tool for tyranny. With how alarmingly fast AI develops, who knows where this leads? Now, I want to be clear. This isn't just a concept. It has already been implemented in several cities in the US. Before I get into this video, I want to remind you that despite the looming threat of a surveillance state, you can take action. You can do that by clicking the link in the description and signing our petition urging Congress and President Trump to enact pro-gun legislation and avoid all infringements on our rights. Dystopian implementations of gun control aren't new. It's not a stretch of the imagination that a disarmed society would look like a George Orwell novel, but that future could be closer than we think.
Daytona Beach police say they saw violent crimes cut in half in 2024. The police chief is now looking to add another tool to their tool belt to stop even more.
Yeah, ZeroEyes is an AI technology that, when attached to cameras, can pick up on guns without a shot even being fired.
In late 2023, a company called ZeroEyes AI released a comprehensive software to spot and identify firearms in public. Because of the AI's compatibility with pre-existing cameras, it can be applied to any camera in a city that the police have access to. Monitoring on a scale that large was practically impossible beforehand due to the money and manpower needed, but not anymore. The local municipalities implementing ZeroEyes AI claim that this is about enforcing current laws and that they don't want to restrict Second Amendment rights. But what happens when their definition of the 2A changes like it always does? Let's say you're carrying concealed and your state changes the law to require permits. In mere seconds of entering the gaze of these cameras, you've just given your local police a warrant to stop you, search you, and possibly even send drones after you. From what I can tell, this hasn't been used in a real police response yet, but ZeroEyes has been collaborating with Aslan Robotics to create security drones that respond to AI-detected weapons. Them claiming the mechanical dog chasing after you is to de-escalate the situation. But we both know that this is going to have an M16 strapped to the top of it, like China has already done. ZeroEyes and their Aslan robot dogs are pretty new, but there are plenty of other gun control methods that have existed for years and been far more widespread. In 2016, the city of Detroit began implementing a similar system with their Project Greenlight. The only difference being it was powered by human reviewers and not AI software. After a study from the DOJ, it was found to have little to no effect on actually mitigating crime.
Eric Williams, managing attorney with the Detroit Justice Center, has been a vocal critic of Project Greenlight since its inception. The study from the NIJ, the Department of Justice's research wing, says there were no statistically significant effects on disorder occurrences or violent crime.
Part of me wants to say, I told you so. The other part of me is looking forward and saying, so what is the response?
Apparently, it doesn't matter if no crime is actually being mitigated. This crowd will always double down due to their unspoken goals, and they'll keep clawing for gun control. While we were at the United Nations for discussions over their arms trade treaty, a comment by the ambassador for Ghana really troubled us.
The representative from Ghana, who was a part of their small arms commission, was talking about a weapons detection device they were using to try and find arms, including assault weapons, in Ghana.
Now, from what these incredible engineers in Ghana have flaunted before, it's clear that these weapon detection devices weren't produced in Ghana and isn't only present in militaristic leftist nations. It's already reached us. This is Sound Thinking's SafePointe contraption. And like the cameras we discussed earlier in the video, SafePointe uses AI software to detect the type, number, and location of any firearms or knives on your person. All of this is done through cleverly disguised barriers.
Concealed sensors are placed near the entrances where people can pass through freely and unobstructed. If a weapon is detected, it is flagged for review from the security team. SafePointe has already been successfully deployed in hospitals, casinos, workplaces, and schools, providing a low-profile yet effective weapon screening capability to enhance security.
All of this done as discreetly as possible with the goal of invading your privacy without your knowledge. I also want to say that I didn't add that music into their commercial. They intentionally made it an ominous Matrix fever dream. Even though private contractors like hotels and casinos are purchasing these systems for safety concerns, law enforcement now has an established surveillance state perfect for disarmament. And make no mistake, every SafePointe device, even those on private property, send all their information to local police stations. This centralization of power and data is critical for totalitarian regimes. And all of this has been made leagues easier with widespread technology like social media constantly vacuuming up our information. We've already seen this in certain cities in China. Their citizens are assigned a social credit score based on their every purchase, movement, and social media post. A low social credit score will restrict you from entering certain places, taking out a loan, or even government intervention.
The system's eyes are in big data, artificial intelligence, and roughly 200 million surveillance cameras.
By the end of last year, blacklisted people were blocked from booking 23 million flights and 5 million high-speed train trips. And the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job, a loan, a hotel room, or put kids in certain schools.
The reason why I brought this up is because the bureaucrats in the Western world are jumping at any chance to use social media in this sort of way. In 2022, New York passed a bill, ironically called the Concealed Carry Improvement Act, that would require gun owners applying for a concealed carry permit to turn in access to their personal data.
Should authorities be able to deny handgun licenses for hateful tweets? A New York State senator is raising the question with a bill that would require applicants for handgun licenses to reveal their social media and online search histories.
It's a new time, it's a new technology. It's time that we, in fact, start having that conversation about how we monitor social media. We saw warnings and red flags in people's social media.
The unique bill would give police access to 3 years of Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram postings. They also would check a year of internet searches.
If that isn't over-controlling, I don't know what is. The bill would also require, quote, names and contact information of no less than 4 character references who can attest to the applicant's good moral character. That raises the question, though. What do they define as bad moral character? Publicly stating that there are only 2 genders? Maybe even raising awareness around government surveillance. Though Senator Parker's bill was signed, it was struck down as unconstitutional by the Second Circuit. Despite being gone, though, the fact this bill was proposed in the first place, let alone passed, shows us what the gun grabbers' good moral character means to them. They're not going to halt their attempts to pass these sorts of laws. AI is not going to get any less powerful or invasive. Our Second Amendment rights have been targeted through databases and registries for the past 40 years. But with this new technology, they can scrape up every piece of information on a gun owner and create a digital profile. Hell, the ATF just began using AI facial recognition to track gun owners. All of these projects combined paints a harrowing picture. Imagine 20 years from now, every gun owner is constantly being watched. You're carrying concealed and you walk too close to a school or government property, leading to a confrontation with the police. Perhaps your rights are rescinded after you make a social media post or Google something that they claim discredits your good moral character. Maybe the bad behavior would be speaking out against the state's tyranny. They already don't respect our Second Amendment rights. Why would they respect our First? The government's potential for misuse with this technology is limitless. and gun owners need to pay attention to the end of the road. Gun owners in blue states and cities have never been more at risk. Here at NAGR, we believe it is the 2A community's duty to stand up in opposition. Get involved in the fight today using the link in the description and comments below, and most importantly, stand firm and guard your liberty. Thank you for watching.